So today's topic is about the adaptive quantization. Now let's see what is adaptive quantization. We have already studied about the uniform quantization and non-uniform quantization. In that we studied about the mid-rise and the mid-rate. Now let's come to the point, that is what is adaptive quantization, right? Now what it is, first thing is, there was a problem of mismatch in the quantizers. What was the problem? That was of the mismatch of information. So here what is it? One way to deal with the mismatch problem is to adapt the quantizer to the statistics of the input. That means we have to involve the statistics of the input to adapt the quantizer. Several things might change in the input relative to the assumed statistics, including the mean, variance, and PDF. Now, what statistics we are talking about here is that there can be slight changes in the input, which is related to the assumed statistics, which can be mean, the way we define the mean, the variance, then the PDF, right? So the strategy for handling each of these variations can be different from or through certainly not exclusive. That means whenever we are changing the mean or the variance or the PDF, every time whenever we are differentiating with the statistics, the way of handling these variations will be different, right? So that is what we have defined in this statement. The strategy for handling each of these variations can be different. And when I say variations, I mean to say the mean, the variance, and the PDF. If more than one aspect of the input statistic changes, what happens if I am changing any one of the statistics and more than one aspect of the statistics? That means I'm changing the mean and the variance, let's say. It is possible to combine the strategies for handling each case separately. That means then we have to define a different strategy to handle these particular points separately. For changes in other statistics, the common approach is to adapt the quantizer parameters to the input statistics. Now, what is the main point we have? That is, for changes in other statistics, whenever we are changing certain statistics, what is the common approach? We need to adapt the parameters of the quantizer to the input statistics. Whatever the input statistics are there, that has to be adapted by the quantizer parameters. So that is what the adaptive quantization is about, right? Now, and why we are doing this? We are going to do this to deal with the mismatch problem. Now, this is a objective type question again, why we are using adaptive quantization, right? And how we are using it, again, that can be defined. Now, what approaches do we have in adaptive quantization? There are two main approaches that are being followed in adaptive quantizing the parameters, quantizer parameters, that are, first is an online or backward adaptive approach, and second one is called as offline or forward adaptive approach. That means there are two names for each one. For backward it is online, and for forward it is offline. Now, one by one, let's see what this particular backward adaptive approach is about, and the second one is forward adaptive approach. Let's study this in detail. Firstly, let's see and let's talk about the backward adaptive quantization. Now, in backward adaptive quantization, what it is, we only have the past quantized samples. That means we are adapting according to the past quantized samples which are available for use in adapting the quantizer, right? So that is why we are terming it as backward, because we are having the past quantized samples which are being used for the adaptation of the quantizer. The values of the input are only known to the encoder. Now, whatever the values are defined, that are only known to the encoder but not to the decoder. Therefore, this information cannot be used to adapt the quantizer. That is why what we cannot do, we cannot use this particular information for adapting the quantizer. how can we get information about mismatch simply? Now the question arises then, if the information or the value of input is not known to the encoder and this information cannot be used to adapt the quantizer, then how can we get information about the mismatch? The answer to this question is simply by examining the output of the quantizer, right? We have to examine the output of the quantizer. Now let's see how this particular backward adaptive quantization is defined with the help of a block diagram. Just see this particular diagram. This is a block diagram in which we are stating the backward adaptive quantization. Firstly, we have already understood what is quantization. Then we have understood adaptive quantization. Now we are coming to the third thing, that is the third terminology, backward adaptive quantization. Now this is the encoder that is called as the quantization encoder. Then we have the decoder that is called as the quantization decoder. Now we all know that encoder is at the transmitting end, right? This is at the transmitting end, while the other one, that is the decoder, is at the other end, which is called as the receiver end, right? The decoder is at the receiver end. So we call it as the quantization decoder, right? So these are the two endpoints, the source, that is the transmitter, and the receiver, that is the sink. Okay, now whatever the input values, that is the X denoted by X, is given in the quantization encoder, this is done with the help of the past analysis, that is the buffering, and the statistical analysis is being done here, right? The statistic analysis is being done here. From this approach, to the input is taken by the encoder, it is going to use certain past information for the statistical analysis. It will do the buffering and it will pass it over to the channel, and this will move forward to the decoder, right? And then again a statistical analysis will be done, buffering will be done, and the output will be generated as the Y point. Now X is at the transmitting end, that is the input value or the input value we have defined, and the value as the output what we are going to get is defined by the Y. So this is what the backward adaptive quantization is defined. Now the main point in the backward adaptive quantization that you have to remember is that in the backward adaptive quantization, the past quantized samples are present, with the help of which the quantization adaptation is done, right? So that is the main point for backward adaptive quantization. Now, few points that we need to remember about the backward quantization is adaptive quantization is, again, I have defined it. If we study the output of the quantizer for a long period of time, we could get some idea about the mismatch from the distribution of the output values. That means, as I have already told you, that the question arises, if the encoder does not know the input values, then how you can quantize the sample, how can you adapt the quantizer parameters? Then that particular states that if we are going to study the output by the quantizer for a longer period of time, then we can have some idea about the mismatch from where? From the distribution of the output values. That means the output values which are generated, the distribution of output values can give us some idea regarding the mismatch of the information. Now, in backward adaptive quantization, the adaptation is performed which is based on the quantizer output, right? So the adaptation is not based on the quantizer input, while it is based on the quantizer output, right? And this particular output will be used by further future inputs, which are again using this particular output as a passed quantized samples, as this is available to both the transmitter and the receiver. So there is no need for the side information. That is the another main point, that in backward adaptive quantization, there is no need for side information, because the information is available to the transmitter and the receiver, both the ends. So that is how the quantizer output is defined. So that is what we have defined in the backward adaptive quantization point, right? So this is what we have in this.